strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Hey, it's Bulldog, and I've got a new video here today with Rebels versus the Sith Empire. So this is not a new team, but it's been brought to my attention that there's not really a very good guide out there showing how to run this team, and it's actually a very underrated squad. A lot of people aren't using it, even though it is perfectly viable and is a good way to climb an arena if you don't have Darth Revan or Darth Malak. It can also be used in Grand Arena, Territory Wars, that type of thing as well, because it is a pretty reliable team. And it's not necessarily 100%, but it does work pretty well. And you actually don't have to, you can be outsped. So here you can see that we've got a very big difference in speed between Darth Revan and CLS, but we're still going to get our Rebel team to go first. And the reason is because with the CLS lead, all Rebels get turn meter whenever there's a resist. So Han's going to go first, like he always does, and thanks to C-3PO, he tries to inflict exposes. He tries to do that twice. Chewie tries to do that once, and then because there's a high chance of those being resisted, especially with the tenacity bonus from HK, it means that all the Rebels are going to get turn meter. CLS can then go and dispel Sith Trooper. When he does that, he's going to inflict debuffs or possibly get resisted. That's going to give more turn meter to all the Rebels, even to Thrawn. Now that Thrawn's faster, he can fracture Darth Revan. He could even fracture Malak. I've been told that works pretty well too, but I do think fracturing Darth Revan is going to be the best way to go. And once you get to this point, once you get Bastila Fallen down and avoid that corrupted battle meditation, you're really pretty good to go. So Sith Trooper's not really, I mean, he gets taunt there, but not really a huge deal. And Revan can be a little annoying to take out because you can't get all the assist. We do want to get confusion there on Malak to avoid him taking taunt. And then Malak's a kind of a pain. He might take out a character or two, but eventually you will get him fractured, and that's going to stop him from moving and taking his bonus turns and all of that. With Darth Revan down, you can stun him. So unfortunately, you don't get the bonus damage from the exposes and from Chewie, but you'll still get him down easy enough eventually between the stuns and the fractures. Just a matter of time here. So I know I went through that, yeah, and you can see he will take somebody out occasionally. You don't get the fracture, but even with the stuns, it's going to be enough to eventually get him down. The Rebels do quite a bit of damage even without the crits. And I know I went through that really fast, so we're gonna do a few more examples. The first two, I actually did this video, or was starting to put this video together when Gear 13 was max. The final video is going to be with relics involved as well to show you that it still does work there. This one, Bastila Fallen, does have the Zeta as well. So again, they get 2 resist right off the bat there. CLS inflicting his debuff so that Thrawn and the other Rebels can go. It's a good idea to go after Bastila Fallen first because she's going to be a little faster than HK, and you do not want her with that corrupted battle meditation. On Chewie's turn, you do want to make sure you're not using that AoE right off the bat because Malak will taunt if you get a critical hit on him. Plus Chewie will be feared and not be able to be called to assist on C-3PO's turn when he calls everybody. So that's something that you want to pay attention to. It's a good idea to use his special ability, even though we're not going to get a stun on HK or Fallen Bastila because they're essentially immune to stuns. But it's going to help him get translation so that C-3PO can call him to assist. A lot of times you don't actually need him to take out HK or whoever's left on that first turn, but it does help if you got that translation to get even more damage. So here is the relic matchup. This is one with it's not, both sides are not completely level 7 relics, but we've got the key pieces there and it's going to show that this should continue to work even as we go up the relic tier. Now, after this video, I will show a little bit of math to see how fast your CLS needs to be in order to go before Darth Revan or Darth Malak or whoever happens to be the quickest there. You can see there's so much, taking out HK and Fallen Bastila, there's so much overkill there at the beginning that it's very hard for it to go wrong as long as you get those opening resist. And I was trying to do the math to show what the odds are on that opening, Han's opening shot, as far as how likely you are to get 2 resist. It does help if you have a weaker I shouldn't say a weaker C-3PO, but C-3PO has an ability that grants potency to all the rebels. And I've shown in a previous video with the raids how sometimes that's actually a bad thing. So you might not want to actually level that up if you haven't yet, but if you have, that's okay. I'll show one more video here where I talk about the resist at the beginning. So I don't know exactly how to do the math because I don't know what order all of these debuffs are applied in. It seems like, so Chewie visually attacks second here, and he's got that tenacity down. So that's going to make the potency tenacity game all irrelevant. Obviously, you don't want that much potency on your Han, and if you go up against an HK that's got high tenacity, that's even better because you're more likely to get that resist. But once that tenacity down is there, it makes that pretty much irrelevant. There's going to be the minimum 15% chance to resist, but we don't know what order that's applied. It seems like we get a lot of resist, so I'm thinking some of those exposes are applied first. So here's the actual speed that we're talking about. This is how you can calculate how much speed you need on your CLS versus the RNG and that type of thing. So obviously if your CLS is faster than your opposing squad, then you're good to go. You don't need any resist whatsoever. If in order to be faster with 1 resist, take your own CLS speed, divide it by 0.95. So if you have a 300 speed CLS, divide that by 0.95, and you'll find out that you can take anything up to a 315 Darth Revan, Darth Malak. So on the other side, if you take Darth Revan's speed, so let's say you've got a 330 Darth Revan, multiply that by 0.95, and you will see that you need your CLS to be 314 speed in order to go first with only one resist. There's a very good chance of getting 1 resist as long as you don't have your Han loaded with potency or anything like that. 2 resist is a little more trickier, but it still happens quite a bit. And it's the exact same math. You're multiplying or dividing by 0.9 instead of 0.95. So that's how you can determine how fast your CLS speed needs to be. It is possible to get 3 resists, but that's a major gamble, and I wouldn't necessarily count on that unless you were just absolutely desperate. And I showed the speed at the beginning, but here I'm very quickly going through the full mods on this team. The mods did change a little bit during some of those videos. Those videos weren't filmed back to back to back. Some of them had relics. The final 2 were with relics. The first 2, there were no relics. But I know everybody wants to see the mods, and if I don't post them, I'll get 1,000 comments asking for them. So at the beginning, again, I just showed the speed that necessarily matters, but you can see everything else just in case you are interested. So thank you so much for continuing to watch. I really appreciate everybody who has helped me out with the videos. On my special thanks here, you can see on the left side, that's going to be who helped me out with the footage. On the right side is all my Patreon supporters. So thank you to everybody, and there's more videos coming this week, so stay tuned.